So a couple of videos ago when we were fixing our 635F bean head, our spare bean head up, and we put it down and it calibrated right away, my dad jokingly said, I bet this will be the only head this year that calibrates. Well, shortly after that we put the corn head on, and sure enough it did not calibrate. And after digging into it a little bit, we found this. Here's a couple wires that are no longer connected. And whatever mouse ate these things, ate them really good because they left about an inch gap between them. Like, I can't even pull the wires together. So that mouse has an absolute ironclad stomach. And then there's also this one up here that's a bit frayed. And I'm hoping that by fixing these, that we'll actually be able to calibrate this head. If I remember right, the deck plates did not calibrate. And then also, Dad says some potentiometer wasn't calibrating. So I'm gonna try and get these fixed with the limited crappy tools that I got here at the shop and see if I can't get this thing to calibrate. Other than that, we haven't dove into this head too much. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember this, I replaced all these snouts by myself, and it was like 110 degrees outside. That was lovely. But I think we're gonna try and get another year out of our Calmer's knife rolls. Our deck plates all look to be fairly good. So hopefully we can just kind of oil the chains up, fix those wires, and we're ready to go. But it's never that easy. Looking through our electrical drawer here, I used to have a nice wire strippers in here, but now we just got this thing, which is kind of a piece of junk. And we got this one right here too, which is also kind of a piece of junk. I got a really nice, like, automatic wire strippers at home, but it doesn't help me here. So I think I'm just gonna take this and try and get this done. I gotta find some wire too. Let's see, I know I found some connectors in here earlier that I liked. Right here. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, actually we need 5 to complete this, so that should be okay. Electrical tape, of course. I'll take some thick and some thinner stuff. There we go. Has anyone else ever seen this before? Where the mouse chewed so much of the wire that they left like an inch gap? I mean, ate copper and everything. Like, that mouse has got to have a great source of iron. And just kind of curious, what do you guys do for mouse prevention on wiring harnesses on things like corn heads or bean heads or things that sit for really, really long periods of time? I know last year I loaded this thing up with rat poison in the head and around the head, and it obviously didn't help. So I just don't really, other than storing it in a mouse-proof building, I don't really know what our options are to prevent stuff like this from happening. I even covered the head in fluid film last year, which I heard really helps, but obviously didn't. What gauge wire is this? I don't know. Snip. Because here's the thing, this is a fine line of repairing it well and repairing it not good enough, and that way man, I am butchering this. There's a fine line between just like fixing it and fixing it right, because there needs to be certain amounts of voltages that can go across these wires, and if there's any resistance in my repair at all, it's going to have a problem. 18. Some small stuff. Now I'm sure some electrical experts are going to yell at me, but the wire that I found to fix it is not my Harbor Freight stuff. I decided against that. But it is bigger gauge, which theoretically should be okay. I mean, worst comes to worst, I just gotta cut this wiring harness down a little bit further and redo my fix. So I got all those connections made down there where the wires were actually broken. I just need to heat shrink them now. But this one needs to be bridged as well. This will be the only one where I actually have the right color wire. Okay, got everything jumped back together. I have not heat shrinked anything. I just got everything crimped at the moment, which should be good enough to do a test because the heat shrink's not going to actually improve the connection of anything. So let's start with the deck plate. See if this works. I really hope it does, because if it doesn't, that probably means a new wiring harness and they suck. I do this every single year and I always forget. Set the combine in field mode. Does that just mean separator? Well, I guess road mode. How do I, oh no. How do I undo that? I click and hold it? Oh, okay. Scared the crap out of me. Engine running at high idle. Open the deck plates. Press and hold the reel extend button. Calibration will proceed automatically. I do see him moving, so that's good. Okay, reel retract button. I do see one that's not moving. Oh wait, no, only the one side moves. We're good. Oh! Oh! We calibrated! That means I just saved myself hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And not only that, but I also saved myself a few curse word filled hours of hatred replacing that wiring harness. Well, I might as well see if the rest of them will go. So I'm gonna lower the snouts that have the feelers on them. There we go. There should be 3 of them. One on the end. That one's already down, and then this one right here in the middle. There we be. So these little things right here, there's some sort of sensor or potentiometer or something in the end of the snout. And based on the angle of this, it determines how high or low the header is. So as you're going through a field and you go through little dips and valleys and little hills, and as the ground contour changes, those little levers go up and down, and that's how the combine can determine what the head height is at and how it needs to move it automatically. The raise speed calibration is always a fun one. Watch this. I hold this header up switch, and it goes up slow, and then eventually it'll start like bouncing, and you're sitting in here like you're in a rock band or something. Eventually, it takes it a while. Press and hold the header lower down. Up and down, up and down. Oh boy, it's just like dropping it. Okay, that one's done. The last one, the header calibration. Maybe this is the one that rocks you. I'm trying to remember. Okay, header's resting on the ground. Hit next. Right height sensor voltage is too low. Okay, we're gonna give it one more shot. We might have a bad sensor. Those sensors on the snouts are very well known for going bad over the summer. I think every year we've had to replace one. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna reposition the combine here a bit, and then I will try it again. I'm guessing it's gonna fail again, and then I'll need to get that sensor. Okay, I moved the combine a little bit. Let's try it again. Rest it on the ground. Now I like to drive ahead very slowly while I'm setting the header down, because sometimes those levers can get folded over backwards, and as long as you're driving forward, they tend not to get folded over backwards. Okay. Yep, okay. Right sensor's bad. At least I hope that it's the sensor and not something in my wiring harness. But the deck calibration, that worked, and that didn't work beforehand, so should just be a sensor. You know what else I haven't thought of? Air filter. I bet this thing is nasty. Oh. Yeah. I think it's... it actually doesn't look that bad on the inside. I think it's just maybe a good blowout, and this one will be good for the year. Nice. Well, that's one way to clean it out, I guess. Yeah, that basically knocked everything out of it. Look at that. Meant to do that. I think it's just the one bolt. I could be wrong. Oh wait, no, I gotta remove this bolt from the top. That's right. That's right. Oh, hun. Is this the right bit? No. Did I get it anyways? Yep. There we go. Unhook this. So that little sensor right there, that's what needs to be replaced. So before I head to Deere and buy a new sensor, we do have this used sensor that I found in the shop. Now, typically if something's broken, if something's broken, I just throw it away. But I knew we had this for some reason. I don't remember exactly what the scenario was, but something sticks in my head that we replaced the sensor and ended up not being an issue, so we kept the old one. So this might possibly fix it. If not, I guess I'll try a new one. I guess you can never have too many of these in hand. Usually one or two go out through the season anyways. But I'm gonna try this used one and see if I can't get this thing to calibrate. I'm gonna trust my job enough. I feel like I'm adding to the heat crisis here in Minnesota that we've been having lately. Okay, let's give her another try. Okay. Yes. That means that the used sensor worked, saved me a few bucks, and a trip down to the dealership, which is good. Oh no. Okay, we're further than we were the last time. Oh, there it went. Right height sensor voltage is too high. Last time it was too low. And maybe that used sensor isn't perfect either, but I'm pretty sure it's sensor related because we're making a lot further than we were with this sensor that I found literally lying on the floor. I'll give it one more shot, see if it goes. Right height sensor voltage is too high. CC number 9818. Something that I guess I could do that I really don't want to, but I could, is I could flip-flop the left and right sensors and then see if the same thing pops up, but for the left sensor. If it still comes up for the right sensor, then we know that there's a wiring harness issue. So, replaced, or actually swapped the whole sensor housing on both sides, and now it's not even letting me get to the second step of the calibration anymore. It's saying the right side's having issues. So, I'm gonna take some pictures, head down to John Deere, see what the guys have to say. I gotta return some other things anyways. Wish me luck. I've been bamboozled. I may have figured this out before I even went down to John Deere. I came over here to take a picture of this, and I found another wire that the mice chewed, and this one has like a 2-inch gap. So this mouse was really hungry for copper. Quick run to the hardware store to get a couple more electrical connectors, and I got the last wire connected. One thing I started to think about is there's 2 black wires in here. I have no idea if I connected the right black wire to the right black wire, but the deck plates did calibrate, and theoretically they'd both be grounds anyway, so it shouldn't really matter. So we'll see. T. Hey, T, come here. Yeah. How's it going? For all you guys wondering, Tom is doing great. I'm trying to include a clip of him doing something here. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's calibrate this thing. Okay. Raise the header. Oh, shoot. This is the same one that I was getting earlier. At least one ground sensor and at least one off-ground sensor is pinned. I don't know where the off-ground sensors are, but I'm gonna drive around the yard and try it again. Well, that's a new one. Left sensor raised voltage is less than lower voltage. So maybe that flip-flop of the sensors did do something. I do need to buy a new one, which is too late to do now, today. That'll be tomorrow. But I'm gonna give it a couple more shots here, see what happens. So, can't get rid of that left height sensor thing. So the sensor that I thought was bad, that I already replaced, I'm gonna swap back for that left one, see if that'll fix it. We've done so much fixing and swapping today, it's kind of hard to wrap my head around what I have and haven't done. But I know if that one that I thought was bad, that probably wasn't bad because I had a broken wire, swap that over, see if it fixes it. That's the last thing I'm gonna do tonight before I just go home and I deal with it tomorrow. It'll be the same video. I just want to be done with this. If this don't fix it, I'm not gonna be okay. Well, the good news is that I've gotten really good at switching these sensors around. Oh my gosh! Oh, I got it. These electrical connections are kind of hard. Last try. So that sensor that we kept on the floor of the office for over a year now was bad. Why? At least I can go home and... Oh no. There's more steps that I did not know about. Press and hold the header lower switch. Oh, this is where it does its rocking. Yeah! And it sits here and bounces. Okay, well that's good. Let's go! I got this thing fixed for the price of a couple electrical connectors that I had to buy at the stalls, but whew, that makes me so happy. Hopefully they get us through another year and these things going in the trash. Oh, I'm sorry, T, did I scare you? Well, thank you guys for coming along on this grueling task of getting this corn head calibrated. It took way longer than I expected it to, but I'm glad I got it done. Super cheap. That means we can use this corn head for another year with hopefully very little expenses, which on a year like this year where all of our crops are not looking that great, kind of nice. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.